Hey guys, it is Julie here with JT.Wealth, and we are here today with your midweek stock market news update. So let's get into it. All right, welcome back everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It is Wednesday, so we are doing our midweek stock market news update where we're quickly covering some exciting highlights surrounding newsworthy stocks. In today's video, we are going to be going over an IPO for Snowflake, AstraZeneca, Tesla, Peloton, and GM and Nikola. Now, before we get into all that good stuff, this is just your friendly reminder to please remember, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Really helps us grow and helps you stay up to date with all of our latest videos. And make sure to give us a big thumbs up if you like this video too. Other easy ways to help support the channel is to check out some of the links down below in our description. We have our Patreon page, our social media. If you're looking to start a new investment platform, we have links there that'll get you started with some awesome bonuses, so just make sure to take a look. Okay, so the first company we're chatting about today is called Snowflake. Now there's a chance you probably haven't heard about them as they aren't yet a publicly traded company, but the reason we are discussing them is because they did just file for an IPO. So as a company, Snowflake capitalizes on two of the biggest trends in enterprise technology today: big data processing and public cloud. So its core product is a cloud-based data warehouse that works seamlessly across three major public clouds. Now, Snowflake seems to have capitalized on the demand for cloud-based analytics by optimizing its technology for the public cloud, making it extremely easy to use and requiring zero maintenance. Now, that sounds like a great business, and of course, in today's tech age, it makes sense for a cloud company to be growing and going public, right? But what makes this IPO so noteworthy is who has invested in Snowflake. And that is none other than Warren Buffett, who will be investing about $570 million into Snowflake. So through Berkshire Hathaway, they are set to buy about 7 million to 7.4 million shares, giving them about a 2.5% stake. And this bet is striking because Buffett famously sticks to businesses he understands and has blasted IPOs as a poor value. But Berkshire Hathaway isn't the only notable investor in Snowflake. Also investing in them is Salesforce, who is matching Berkshire Hathaway with a $250 million purchase in a private placement, and then Berkshire Hathaway is purchasing additional common stock once it's gone public to get it up above that 500 million mark. So this IPO could take place as soon as September or October this year, but the company has expressed a willingness to wait to ensure ideal market conditions. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly when this IPO will come to market, but once it is listed, the company can be valued above $12.4 billion. Next up today is AstraZeneca, who has been testing their Rona vaccine. But they came across a small hiccup today when they had to pause their vaccine trial after one of their study participants came down with an unexplained illness. So this has caused the AstraZeneca stock to fall a bit, but has also benefited the shares of some of the other vaccine developers like Novavax, Moderna, Inovio, and BioNTech. Looking at the AstraZeneca chart, you can see that it did cause a bit of a decrease on the day as this news came out, but this should be a short-term correction overall as it doesn't take them completely out of the vaccine running. It might just cause some delays. Next on the list is good old Tesla, who after their seemingly endless parabolic run has finally seen a bit of downside this week. Looking at the last 5 trading days on the chart here, we were up around $480 last Wednesday and then saw it fall about 30%. But today we have seen a bit of a recovery, up 11% on the day. So we saw a huge rise in price for Tesla and a lot of excitement surrounding their 5-for-1 stock split. But then right after that, the stock did start to go back down as we heard news of their $5 billion stock offering. Now, I think it's been further stoked by the company being passed over for inclusion in the S&P 500 index. So it was on Friday afternoon that the S&P announced the inclusion of Etsy, Teradyne, and Catalent, but snubbed Tesla. So considering that there was a lot of anticipation of Tesla joining the S&P 500, this exclusion was noticeable. Next up is the at-home workout company Peloton, who shared some exciting news for their company. And that is that they will be offering a new Bike Plus, so a slightly more expensive bike and a cheaper treadmill. So this new bike is going to cost $2,495, but their original Peloton bike is then going to drop down to $1,895, making it a bit more affordable. Looking at their chart here, you can see it has been a good month of growth for Peloton. But not only that, it has been an amazing year as more and more people are choosing to work out from home during this pandemic. So year to date, they've actually seen growth over 200%. But further growth for Peloton is expected as two analysts recently both increased their price targets up to $110 for Peloton, saying that there is still strong demand for their products. Now, last but certainly not least today is the newly announced partnership between GM and Nikola. So under this agreement, GM will participate extensively in the development process for the Badger, providing engineering and validation services. Moreover, GM's Ultium battery architecture will be the basis for all of Nikola's battery electric trucks. Nikola will also gain access to validated parts via GM for all of its models, ranging from the Badger pickup to its Class 8 semi-trucks. Now, Nikola will compensate General Motors for many of its contributions with a substantial equity stake. So the truck startup will issue approximately 47.7 million new shares of stock to GM, valued at $2 billion in the announcement, but closer to $2.4 billion based on their closing price of $50.05. GM will also get a seat on Nikola's board and will be entitled to most of the emissions tax credits associated with the production of Nikola trucks. So obviously this deal is going to be beneficial for both sides of the party. Nikola is going to save money and GM is going to be able to receive supply contracts. But most importantly, this partnership is going to accelerate GM's efforts to commercialize its zero emission technology. So it's going to be able to test its fuel cell technology in real world conditions without having to develop new fuel cell vehicles from the ground up. And it's also going to be able to ramp up production of its Ultium batteries faster, driving down costs. Now, speaking of that Ultium battery, we know that batteries have been a very hot topic in the EV world lately. We have Tesla's battery day coming up, but GM just also shared some really interesting news surrounding theirs. Today, they announced a new wireless battery management system. So GM has essentially figured out how to fit its battery packs with Wi-Fi. This allows individual modules in the system to communicate through a wireless network instead of traditional cables. So this reduces the amount of wiring needed in the battery assemblies up to 90%, which reduces weight, cost, and results in cleaner, easier to build batteries. Also very interested in using this Ultium battery technology is Honda, who recently deepened their partnership with GM. Now, Honda and GM have actually been working on projects together for multiple decades, but have really strengthened their relationship surrounding EV vehicles over the last few years. Now, this latest alliance really surrounds the sharing of information and technologies. Their latest memorandum basically has an understanding to share common vehicle platforms and propulsion systems in a variety of vehicle segments in North America. They also plan to cooperate with respect to purchasing, R&D, and connected services. The main purpose of this alliance is to reduce costs. By collaborating on R&D, vehicle engineering work, and connected services, GM and Honda will be able to share the burden of investments in those areas. So I won't go too much further into this because I feel like I do a whole video on it by itself, but it's really interesting to see how much GM is expanding in this EV space. Working with Honda on this, now with Nikola, plus their involvement with Lordstown Motors and Workhorse. So those are my top headlines this week that caught my eye and just a few things that we're looking forward to. I always love to hear from you guys. What do you think about these few companies and what other headlines have you been reading this week? Please remember to give a big thumbs up, especially if you made it all the way to the end of the video here, and double check that you are subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and have an awesome day. Cheers!